En survolant nos lacs pittoresques,
When flying over our beautiful lakes, our beautiful hills and forests, our volcanoes, our towns and cities, you have that feeling to be somewhere in paradise. You have noticed when landing how difficult it was to know the city limits of Goma and Gisenyi. They demonstrate how nature and history have irreversibly put them side by side despite the will of one or the other
est-ce que la
mind.
nature et l'histoire ont mis côte à côte de manière irrémédiable, quelle que soit la volonté de l'un ou l'autre esprit. Mais, dans ce paradis que vous avez contemplé,
But in this paradise, thousands of humans and animals live an indescribable tragedy for over a decade, specifically since 1994, when armed men, former FAR and Inter-Amwe, came here amongst the Rwandan refugees. They came to our lands to perpetuate a macabre task in the slaughtering of nearly 1 million lives in few weeks, inspired by politicians.
leur pays, le Rwanda, en massacrant près d'un million de personnes en quelques semaines, instrumentalisés qu'ils étaient par des acteurs politiques.
That war called the War of the East is one of the worst that Africa has known. In the powerless look of the rest of the world, hundreds of thousands of Congolese were slaughtered. Towns were devastated and burned down. Thousands of families were displaced in and out of the DRC, taking with them the shock of sexual violences, his rapes, disarray of children having experienced slaughter, hunger, and exhaustion. The intolerable suffering of the people forced the Congolese government in taking uncomfortable decisions.
Tout le monde peut prendre des décisions faciles.
Everyone can make easy decisions, and daily politicians make easy decisions. Few men are capable of making hard decisions.
De prendre des décisions difficiles. Et l'opération
And the joint operation
entre les troupes
between Rwandan and Congolese troops was a hard decision.
était une décision difficile. Difficile parce que lourde de
Hard because the heavy consequences, political consequences, and politicians hate taking decisions with heavy consequences.
aux lourdes conséquences. C'est pour cette raison que
Following that decision,
de cette décision
we have to admit that our chief, the President Joseph Kabila Kabange, has demonstrated his capacity to be the leader of this country.
sa capacité de leader de ce pays. Parce que la capacité de leader, c'est celle de pouvoir
Because being a leader is being able to confront the public opinion
lorsqu'on est assuré
when you know that the decision you have taken is in the general interest. The mid-January intervention of the Rwandan troops in the DRC side by side with the Congolese army under the command of Lieutenant General John Numbi turns into reality, warming up the relations between Rwanda and the DRC. This reconciliation registers in the frame of the global policy of normalizing relations between the DRC and his neighbors. Let's go back to the Foreign Affairs Minister, Alexis Tambwe Mwamba, who enlightened us more in seeking peace in the Great Lakes region.
Nous avions des problèmes avec
We had problems
nos
with
trois
our
voisins,
three neighbors,
mais nous avons
but we
réussi
have
à
normalized
normaliser les choses,
things
de
much
manière un peu
faster
plus rapide
for
avec
Uganda and
et le
Burundi.
Et le
And Rwanda
Rwanda est resté,
remain a separate
un
case.
cas à part.
That is
C'est
why
pour
there's
cette
more
raison qu'on met
emphasis
beaucoup
on
plus
Rwanda
l'accent
today.
aujourd'hui sur le Rwanda, mais sur le Burundi où je me suis
But in the case of Burundi, we have been in a ministerial summit and with Uganda, with whom we will meet next week between our two presidents in a summit here. Things were a little easier compared to Rwanda.
À l'est du pays, on a mené exactement aussi une politique diplomatique forte, mais qui n'était pas aussi compliquée. Il faut reconnaître que ce n'était pas aussi compliqué.
Changing the three ambassadors in those countries at the same time is also a display of our determination of normalizing our relations with them, and it is essential to live in harmony with our neighbors.
D'échanger les trois ambassadeurs pratiquement au même moment. Il est indispensable que nous puissions vivre en harmonie parfaite avec tous les voisins que nous avons. À Bujumbura, nous avons toujours
in Bujumbura, we have a chargé d'affaires, and we will soon appoint an ambassador. And doing the same for Kampala, unlike at Kigali, where our embassy was simply closed, and we are working on refactioning the building and reopening it.
J'ai écrit d'ailleurs à mon collègue de travaux publics pour qu'il puisse dépêcher une équipe sur place de manière à réhabiliter déjà nos bâtiments.
Pour moi, aujourd'hui, l'importance primordiale, c'est l'importance politique et diplomatique.
The main achievements are political and diplomatic. We have always encouraged the reconciliation of the two countries, the DRC and Rwanda, and we have witnessed today the demonstration of the reconciliation.
Donc l'importance est politique et diplomatique. Sur le plan militaire,
in the military front, this operation has put the FDLR in disarray. But I agree that a lot remains to be done and need to be ready for new challenges ahead to put to rest the problems of the FDLR.
On ne peut pas être complaisant, pas du tout. Il y aura vraiment des défis dans l'avenir pour mettre terme au problème des FDLR.
The international community have walked with the two countries in their reconciliation because it's only with good relations with the two capitals that we can come to a sustainable peace in the region. Our wish, our task, day and night, is to help to achieve the reconciliation between both countries.
Pour renforcer cette relation entre les deux pays.
Only exceptional statesmanship allowed the leaders of our two countries to rise above differences for the greater cause, which is peace in our countries, peace in our region, peace for our people. For that, we salute them.
Despite of that, the operation tracking the FDLR is still on the way in the South Kivu till the total pacification. Cyprien Biringingwa, president of the Civil Society of South Kivu.
Ça fait pratiquement 15 ans que la société civile du Sud Kivu mène des actions.
For 15 years, the population has been very vocal, locally, nationally, and even internationally, to have the FDLR go back to their home country, following all the damages they have caused to the population.
La population, à savoir notamment les viols sexuels très étendus à grande échelle, le massacre,
killings,
la soumission des populations à des travaux
forced
forcés,
work and looting of our natural resources like coltan, casterite, gold, and so on.
Comme le coltan, la cassiterite, l'or, etc. Et c'est pour cette raison que dans les messages que nous avons
Following the decision of the government, we told the FDLR that everything has an end.
Avec le gouvernement rwandais, nous sommes vite montés au créneau pour dire écoutez, les FDLR
considering the hospitality shown to them in 1994 when they were refugees compared to the misery they have caused to the population.
L'hospitalité avec laquelle la population du Sud Kivu les a accueillis dans des conditions extrêmement difficiles, humanitaires qui étaient les leurs en 1994, par rapport justement à la misère qu'ils sont en train de causer à la population.
La province du Sud Kivu a tiré les meilleurs bénéfices.
The operation have profited to South Kivu a great deal.
Et aussi, faut-il savoir que
we have to know that the South Kivu is undergoing deep changes,
en train de connaître une profonde mutation, en ce sens que
considering the 13 armed groups are laying down their weapons.
Dans un contexte de non-droit, ont accepté un programme de démobilisation et de désengagement aussi. Les camps et les sites des réfugiés des combattants sont tout à fait disponibles. Mais s'agissant des troupes occupées par les FDLR,
but the FDLR have settled in remote areas deep in the forest where there are no roads, which could make the remaining operation a little harder.
Pour se sédentariser dans des forêts où il n'y a pas d'infrastructure de route. Voilà ce qui peut rendre peut-être demain notre opération un peu plus difficile. Mais les 8 territoires sont sous administration de la République démocratique du Congo, du gouvernement provincial.
However, all administrative territories are under government control, and we don't worry about that.
L'administrateur du territoire ou le chef de collectivité ne travaille pas comme il se doit. Donc, nous n'avons pas de soucis par rapport à cela.
C'est évident qu'on peut avoir des craintes réelles qu'après la fin de ces opérations,
it is evident to worry after these operations, the residual FDLR forces will attempt to go back to the villages and do evil. They are in isolated groups of 10 or 20 people. Even with a couple Kalashnikov, can kill tens in villages.
Peuvent tuer de dizaines de civils dans un village. C'est ici le moment pour nous.
Here is the occasion we ask the MONUC to work with our forces to apply the Resolution 1856 without any blackmailing and with no delay, which imposes the MONUC to resort to forces to protect the civilians.
Pour protéger les populations civiles.
Vous savez, on a toujours soutenu la FARDC.
We have always supported the FARDC in supplying them with equipment, evacuations, logistics, and so on. And we will continue that way even more. What we have done in the past, we will continue to do.
Même renforcer cet effort, mais en même temps, ajoutons notre propre poids, notamment pour la protection des centres de population. Ce qu'on a fait maintes reprises dans le passé, on va continuer à faire. Donc, je pense qu'il n'y a pas de question.
There is no questioning about our engagements before or after Resolution 1856.
Comme on a fait au mois de septembre.
Children have been exploited by different groups, a sad phenomenon denounced by UNICEF.
So the main messages that we have conveyed from UNICEF side is related to the importance of protecting children and protecting women and girls, both in relation to demobilizing children from the armies, the rebel groups in this region, and protecting women and girls from sexual violence and other abuses. Those were the two main topics with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. The Minister of Foreign Affairs was very clear in expressing the commitment of the government to not have one child be integrated into the army or the police force as they are demobilized from CNDP or other rebel groups. And that was a very positive message. We, from our side, are able to assist with our own program in demobilizing children and help them be reintegrated. So the importance that not only MONUC protect women and children from sexual violence, but that also the commitment,
in the refugee camp, precarity of conditions of living are blatant. Let's listen to a displaced of the Kibaki camp.
Kule kunesha kurudia amani.
We have decided to go back to the village of Kibomba. Here conditions are so harsh. Even if peace is back, we have nothing to go back to. No homes, no seats, and plead to the international community as well as to the Congolese government to give us equipment and seeds to start our lives over.
Sie kama tuko Kibumba tuko na pale na bezo ya mambego. Mtusaidie kumbego ya kulima, mwanzie kujembe, kumambego. Kuna hema yenyewe tunaweza kwenda kutia tu muti tunaikala mule ndani. Njoo hatuna nyumba. Unaona kitu tunaikala hivi hatuna kitu.
Mon collègue de l'agriculture,
my agriculture colleague has briefed me with his project of managing this situation.
Du format 4+4. Toutes les mesures qu'il avait mises en place pour pouvoir encadrer ces populations-là lorsqu'elles vont regagner leur village. Et je pense qu'entre le ministère de l'Agriculture
the departments of agriculture and social affairs have planned for their rehabilitation with necessary materials.
On sait qu'aujourd'hui, ils n'ont plus rien. Il leur faudra des intrants agricoles, il leur faudra quelques houes, il leur faudra du matériel agricole. Cela est prévu, mais c'est géré au niveau des deux ministères, celui des Affaires sociales et celui de l'Agriculture.
Lieutenant General John Numbi, commander of the joint operations, have given the way to the return of the Rwandan troops to their country.
Conformément à la volonté du chef de l'État, commandant suprême de
in accordance with the head of the state, Supreme Commander of the FARDC and of the National Police, we have concluded the first phase of the operations against the FDLR. Measures have been taken to secure the populations of North Kivu in our effort to telling the FDLR to go back to their country. DRC Authority of Migration assisted the crossing of the border of the Rwandan troops before a big crowd. Time of rebuilding in the frame of 5 building sites. Let's listen to Kimbembe Mazunga, advisor to the president.
Beaucoup d'émotions, c'est une cérémonie.
It's a very emotional ceremony with tears in my eyes. The troops marching, the speeches, it is well in the spirit of the 5 building sites.
La vision dans le cadre de 5 chantiers de la République. Mais les chantiers numéro
0, remains peace, security, and the state of law for all. There we have accomplished the piece that was missing in the puzzle, and that is peace. Today, the fences have been dismantled, the roads are open. I went from Kisangani, Bafwasende, Nyanya, Mombasa, Bunia, Beni, and today here I am in Goma. Thanks first to the rehabilitated infrastructures, second, which is capital, the peace that has returned. That is security that has returned. No more roadblocks, which is wonderful, and I thank the head of the state who have given me the opportunity to attend this event.
C'est une symbolique très forte. Mais cette symbolique n'est pas que symbole en elle-même.
It is a very strong sign that represents a steps toward a renewed trust.
D'un jalon qui vient d'être posé, le jalon d'une confiance renouvelée.
Step towards development to improve our daily living.
Question urgente en termes de développement qui vont désormais prendre de l'importance dans les préoccupations du vécu quotidien de nos populations.
Cette opération,
I welcome this operation with joy. The population didn't believe that the Rwanda troops will go back. The populations of Masisi, which lived the worst of the conflict, lost faith. But now, after witnessing what just happened, they are now assured that the hostilities have come to an end.
Mais sinon, je crois que je suis vraiment satisfait de voir aujourd'hui.
I'm really satisfied by the discipline of the Rwandan troops, returning with all the weapons they came with. The cooperation between our army and the Rwandan army, the march to the border, has led us yesterday. Rumors going in Kinshasa saying that Rwandan troops will never go back. But I think,
avec notre habitude de toujours envenimer les rumeurs. Les gens se disaient d'ailleurs, les Rwandais ne vont plus rentrer.
That we have come to a time where no one can stay over someone else's side. It's clear that Rwandan and Congolese would like to develop their countries.
Que nous puissions contribuer au développement de notre pays.
Rwandais, donc les militaires rwandais.
Iranians came, they were invited by the head of the states and other high-ranking authorities. They came to annihilate their brothers who troubled peace and security in the region and had the burden to take them back home. Since they had the approval of the head of the state, we did not see any disadvantage. Moreover, they are going back. We are so glad that the head of the state have taken such a courageous decision for peace to come back.
Kama batu banaishi pamoja na biko bavoisin banapaswa kusaidiana ndani ya mambo yote ya mzuri na ya mubaya banaichangia.
Mes sentiments sont révélés par tout ce que vous voyez aujourd'hui.
My feelings are revealed by all we see today, which means that the operations were successful with the support of the population and the authority of Nord Kivu.
Soutenue par la population du Nord Kivu, par les autorités locales du Nord Kivu et tous les chefs coutumiers. C'est une opération qui a été menée par une main de maître conjointement par les forces rwandaises de défense et par
joint operation by the FARD and the FARDC. As a result, the FDLR are scattered in isolated groups throughout the forests around Walikale.
Dans les forêts du Nord Kivu, principalement à Walikale. Et le travail qui reste à faire maintenant,
and it remains to the FARDC and MONUC to secure the positions once held by the FDLR, chasing them out of the forest.
Qui seront donc sécurisés par les FARDC, aidés en cela par la MONUC. Et le travail va continuer bien sûr aussi en chassant dans ces forêts-là les FDLR qui ont fui dans les fins fonds des forêts congolaises.
Au nom du président de la République,
in the name of the President of the Republic, I say thank for what you have done, for the sacrifices you have made, and we will not allow the situations to get worse and call you back in.
Que la situation se détériore pour vous rappeler une fois de plus.
Our army assures me they are able to secure the North and South Kivu.